What up, y'all, and welcome to Daytona International Speedway for the 2023 NRSL Digital Storm Cup Series Daytona 500. A driver in this field could join the list of past winners here today. Those drivers being Philip Parker, Andrew Rich, Jonathan Zorlin, Jessica Shelton, Osmain Hamid, and Alexander Rowe, all past Daytona 500 champions. Rich, Zorlin, Shelton, and Rowe, the four in the field with a chance to be the first to win Daytona 500. Number two, we've got two-time champions in the Cup Series, but we've never had a driver have two Daytona 500 victories. Could today be the day? I'm joined by my homie Vince Freeze, who has made it for every race this week. Vince, before we get into the starting lineup, how do you feel to be here?
Yeah, it's always good to be here in Daytona, buddy. Daytona Beach, where the sun is shining, and we're going to crown a champion today here at the Daytona 500, which means one thing. What is points? It doesn't matter. Throw them out the window. It's all about the win. Let's get to that even odds starting lineup.
On the front row is Duel 1 winner, Corsair Duel 1 winner, that is, Skylar Taylor. After pole sitter Trace Smith crashed in the duel race, he will start at the rear of the field. Score 4 will put it down as Skylar Taylor starting on pole, but for the sake of the record books, we will list it as a Trey Smith pole. To his outside is Darian Ton, who survived his duel race and gets to retain starting in second place. Row
Yeah, row
2.
number.
Go ahead, Vince.
Yeah, well, I was thinking we're just going to do odds and even. That's okay. But row 2, we got Lucas Catano, who's really fast in duel number 1, almost looked like the favorite, but we'll see how he turns it. And Nate Rogers really fast in duel 2. That car could definitely break away. We'll see how he does in the daytime here at Daytona.
Yeah, I actually forgot we did odds and evens last year, so we'll roll with that once again this season. Row 3, you got Ricky Freeman Jr., a rookie who had to race his way in, and Zachary DeLello, another driver that raced his way in and lost out to Nate Rogers in duel 2 by 1/1000th of a second. We're going to have to go fast, Vince.
That's right, Dylan Young and Henry Sanford for row number 3.
Row 4.
4, excuse me. Yeah.
Row 5's got teammates out of Richard Childress Racing, Corey Riggs and Saden Davidson.
Row number 6, here we got Mr. Byman Seth Cole and Audrey Baranowskis.
Row 7 is 2020 Cup champ Samet Oskin with Christian Vargas.
Row 8, we got Mr. Triggered himself, Kev Shear, and Ryan Browner making his return back to DSCS.
Row 9 has the first of a new team, Rich Racing, with Keith Rich in the 53 and rookie Archibald Buttersworth in the 33. Team Penske, now a 4-car staple.
Row number 10, though, how about the champ, Jonathan Zorlin, looking to get another one on the old bucket list, and Zach Flickinger, really fast last year in this race.
Yeah, he finished second, I want to say. We'll just go through the rest of the rows here. We've got Charles Sanford, Logan York, the command to start engines here is in 30 seconds. Stephen Waters, William Brock, Jesse Turner, and Cole Deaver. Ace Rogers and Zachary Fitzwater Sr. Alex Ferranti and Vince Freeze. Lane Sanders and Andrew Rich. Rich looking to have this be the year he wins the championship. Allison Lier, another two-time champ of the series like Sorlin with RJ Bishop. Kate Anderson and last year's winner, Alexander Rowe. Then Rob Evans and Jessica Shelton, along with Nico Tringali. Trey Smith starting at the rear after wrecking in his duel race. And in the final row, you've got Diego Yepes and Enzo Nareza, who made this race in on time. As the other drivers that made the race in on time are in front of drivers that crashed out of the race. "70 laps of action this year, Vince. 70 laps. We know it's usually 20 laps per fuel run, so if we happen to get a green flag run going from start to finish, it would be a 3-stopper. What's the strategy plan here?
A 3-stopper. I think that's the way to go. We go green, but this is Daytona. Usually we get a big one, or we might get some shenanigans. We'll see. I think this race, similar to last year, we could see a small pack. finish it up. We know Rowe, that's what he did. He got to pack it like 5 or 6, and then it dwindled down to about 4 or 5 on the last lap, and it's game over. Numbers will be critical. I think line placement will be more critical than ever, and it's in the day. A little warmer, not as much grip compared to the nighttime. Let's see how that turn 4 wall ride. I'll have to watch that especially. So considering the duels were like that, we'll see how it goes. Rookies on that front row, or will be a veteran taking it home. We'll find out.
An 84 Skylar Taylor, the only Red Bull Racing entry to make the Daytona 500. For Bulldog Motorsports, 2 cars make the race, one of which was locked in. The other 2 did not qualify. So Lucas Catano up front, Ace Rogers towards the middle. Benjamin Ice, Colt Hudson did not qualify for the race. The pace car leads him off of turn 4. A rookie has only won this race once, and it was the Chaos race back in 2021 with Osmain Hamid. Trey Smith drives at 38 now. He starts at the back after earning the pole. Green flag is out. Skylar Taylor and Darian Ton lead him to the green.
Really good move by Catano. A power move, almost 3 wide there. No help on the inside.
Looking towards the middle of the field, I noticed Jonathan Zorlin did not get going at all. Man was asleep on the green flag.
Forget the NyQuil, though. How about some energy drinks and soda on that inside line? 2 of the strongest cars all weekend, Rogers and Catano. Let's see how it works.
Nate Rogers not going to waste any time. He's got other veteran drivers such as Dylan Young, Seth Cole, Kev Shearer, Samet Oskin, all lined up behind him on the inside line. There's Zach Flickinger as well. Nate Rogers leads the first lap of the race.
There's Mr. Bye-Bye by himself, Seth Cole, looking 3 wide with big help from Oskin, Shearer, and Flickinger, and Brommer. A lot of veteran laced right there.
And it only took a lap, and they are 3 by 3 by 3, several rows deep.
Someone's losing the pack a little bit. Might be Smith, I think. Maybe just playing it cool. We did see him get wrecked out of that dual race. The bank cars are playing it really smooth to start off. We'll watch that as the run goes along.
Seth Cole will take the race lead. It's looking like max speed here in this race is going to be maybe about 205 miles per hour in the draft. Not seeing them go as fast as they did in the dual races Thursday night, Vince, which could mean the bottom could be more of a line you prefer than the top side, depending on how much fall off these drivers see.
Yeah, first 6 to 7 laps, you just feel it out. I think by lap 12, if we get there without a yellow, I think that's when the outside line will start prevailing.
Oh, the 13's in the wall, and Saden Davidson just got turned. Caution flag is out here on lap number 3. Saw Ton get stuck in the wall, arced it too much going into 3, Vince, and then there were so many cars behind them, they tried to check it up. Saden Davidson was the one who got turned. Kev Shearer is the race leader and 2-time Jerky Pro Truck champion. Audra Baranowskis, her day is over already. Christian Vargas with likely some damage here. Trying to see if anyone had to call a tow. Looks like that is not the case. Saden Davidson, you can tell his back bumper is crumpled. Cole Deaver, some potential damage. Not sure if RJ Bishop got involved or not. This is the stack-up zone. Something to always look out for. Looks like everyone should be okay here. So, first caution of the race on lap number 3. We'll wait and see what the pit strategy calls will be here. They've only gone 3 laps, but I'd assume with fuel being a big factor in this race, you want to take as little fuel as possible at the end of the race. So I think we'll see everyone come down pit road here. And that appears to be the case. Let's just confirm here before we hit the pit lane cam. And that is indeed the case. So everyone will head down pit road. Pit road at its busiest here early on in the race, Vince.
Yeah, well, I got to watch out for any contact, but looks pretty clean so far.
Seeing a couple drivers opt to take two there. I saw Jesse Turner put right sides on it. It looks like, some contact between Ton and Henry Sanford, and Henry Sanford's now got rear end damage.
Yeah, Tarn into the Katano, too.
Oh, Zach Flickinger, I think, might have got a piece of something there. Ooh, Charles Sanford's going to stop for Katano. And that is the race off pit road. Dylan Young, the race leader. Let's take a look at the race replay, see what brought out the first caution of the day. Taking a look at the replay from our trusty helicopter camera. Watch the 13 ahead. We're focused on the 31. We see everyone's getting right up against the outside wall here as they go into 3, and Ton just got a little too close. See Zachary DeLello, Saden Davidson trying to check up. Right there, the 4 gets pushed by the 31, and then Audra's going to clip 31 down. William Brock gets a piece of this. Stephen Waters involved as well, and then Vargas, Audra's teammate, has nowhere to go. Like Archibald Buttersworth might have got a piece of this. Looks like Deaver, Fitzwater, and RJ Bishop did a great job hitting the brakes for this. So overall, not a huge crash. Pretty low end. So we'll have to see how everyone fares here. Let's take an on board with the 1 of Baranowskis. On board with the number 1 Delta Airlines Chevy of Audra Baranowskis. Yeah, and everything just happened really quick there, Vince. Just, there was like a split-second moment where you could have done something, and then she was involved.
Game of inches.
Trouble under caution for last year's winner, Alexander Rowe. Watch from his viewpoint here. Everyone's stopping, and the 77 just slammed on the brakes a little bit there. And Rowe is going to get the worst of it with the front end damage. He has already taken his car back down pit road, and they have torn off the hood. More problems here under caution. The engine on the number 7 Hendrick Motorsports Old Spice Camaro has expired. Tough break for Nico Tringali. Was going to restart 25th. His day up in smokes. Should be getting the 1 to go here, so we won't bother cutting coverage. Let's see here if the lights go out. If not, we have another lap. We'll come back. Nope, lights are indeed out. So Audra Baranowskis was the only car to retire from the caution. And now Nico Tringali will join her off the racetrack. That will leave us with 40 cars still on track, Vince. It's going to be curious to see how many cars are up to speed. You can see Henry Sanford's number 06. Remember, he got run into as he came out of pit road. He has opted not to go back down pit road. They will likely do something with that damage the next time they hit the stall. But for now, they're opting to stay out. They are in 4th place, and that much back-end damage, Vince, I don't think it's going to hurt him much in the draft.
No, it should be pretty flexible at the rear of the car. I think he just needs to stay up to speed, maybe find a little slipstream at the beginning, and usually with a slow pace on a restart, he'll compete. It's just when we get to maybe 10 laps and the tires start to fall off in a run, that's when we'll see the true test of that 06. But right now, I got to say, Zach, this top 10 is pretty wide range. You got Dylan Young out there, Seth Cole, the big guns, and then you got Sanford's, the Freezes of the world, the 27. Still remembering names. Turner, who hasn't been really there since 2020. When's he going to break out? We got a good mix here. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, Ricky Freeman Jr. there in 3rd, as you mentioned. No experience prior to this season, and he is not running Jerky Pro. Henry Sanford 4th, Ace Rogers 5th, Kev Shearer 6th, Vince Freeze 7th. Corey Riggs is the 27 there in 8th. Keith Rich 9th. And then, as you mentioned, Jesse Turner is in 10th place. Going to be curious to see who has the pace to keep up. There was a lot of beating and banging going on there on pit road and when they caught up to the pace car. So take a couple laps here to see who is going to have enough speed to remain on the track on top of remaining in the lead pack. We'll go to our trusty spectator camera here to really show you how the runs develop here on a restart.
Six is starting to drop back. Kev Shear decides to ditch him.
And you see the 78 with a bit of a run from third, but it's Ace Rogers and Kev Shear who have the biggest run out of anybody. If this race comes down to a late race restart, Vince, you do not want to be leading coming to the green.
Nope, Kev Shear. We got 4 wide.
Jesse Turner, Rob Evans, 4 wide there with Keith Rich and Vince Freeze. Now, to the point, though, of restarting as the leader, when Andrew Rich won this race in 2018, it was I believe it was a 2-lap shootout. It was 2 or it was a 1-lap shootout. I can't remember which. But he restarted as the leader, and he held on to win, which was incredible, to say the least. But I'm not so sure if we would see that happen again. It'd be pretty miraculous if it happened again, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this is one of those races now where we're starting to see the field thin out a little bit. Maybe we only got like 23. In this pack? I don't know. It's hard to tell. Waters is definitely off the pace. This is similar to what happens in a truck series race where we saw that thin field and the 51. It was just dominated at the end of the night. I don't know if we have one of those cars right now, but it could happen as the run goes on.
Let's take a look at the back of the field. It's Ace Rogers and Kev Shearer side by side for the race lead. Got Zachary DeLello and Alexander Rowe here at the back of the pack. So DeLello with some decent damage. He was right behind Ton when they got into the wall. Oops, wrong way. See, we got Alex Ferrati back here with some potential damage. Vargas, we know, was in the wreck. Oh, Andrew Rich had something happen. William Brock was a piece of that wreck as well. We know Saden Davidson there in the 31 was in it. They are about 5 miles an hour off draft pace. We got Archibald Buttersworth, Darian Ton, Cole Deaver. It looks like the 33's up the speed. He's just stuck behind some damaged cars. Same can be said for these guys right here. Trey Smith, RJ Bishop, Zorlin, Fitzwater, Lane Sanders, and Stephen Waters, I think, is off pace just a hair. But these cars, Vince, they look like they're up to speed, and they just got stuck behind some of their damaged competitors.
Yeah, and that's going to leave us with, what, I think 23, 24 main pack?
I believe it is indeed 24.
It's 24 pack. Let's see what we can do here. It's the field. I think it's going to be an interesting with the lines now. This where the outside maybe starts to gain a little steam. The middle, I think the inside lane will be dominant. We do have mixed strategy, right? We have some 2 tires. We got some 4. Yepez is up there. We haven't seen Toyota's really muster their way to the field and up front. Catano's still there.
To the point of tire strategy there on that caution, I only saw maybe 1 or 2 drivers take rights. I think everyone else was fuel only.
Okay, I'm sorry. 2 or 0 fuel, so should be interesting. But you got to look towards Catano, Samper on that inside. They seem to have the real super speedway experience. Evans is there. I think there's going to be a couple people to watch now that this pack is thinning out that can really use their experience.
Diego Yepes got his lone career win back in 2018 in the summer race here at Daytona when that was a thing. Now with a 20 race schedule, no track gets 2 dates except for the track that ends up hosting the All-Star, as that'll be Talladega this year. First time for the superspeedway. It's always been a superspeedway track, and it'll be Talladega's turn this season. And with the package that we just used last year, Vince, I think Talladega is something to really look forward to.
Yeah, it had that crazy spread out racing that it would confine at the end with some strategy, so should be something to look out for. But have Allison Lera in the lead, and there's Nate. He's bad fast. We know you get behind that 9, you're going to go places.
Allison Liera has never won a super speedway race to my knowledge. Checking that right now. That's why you see thing. Let's see. Let's fix that. Yeah, I'm taking a look here. Never won at Pensacola. Okay, nope, never mind. Scratch that. Liera does have one super speedway win, 2018 at Armory Digital.
To the lead now.
To the point of talking about other super speedway wins, we might as well bring them up since we're at Daytona.
Yep.
Let me see. I just got to find Pensacola first. All right. I found Pensacola first. Drivers in the field that have won at Pensacola: Seth Cole, Kev Shearer, and Keith Rich. Charles Sanford with a Jerky Pro win at Pensacola. Same with Logan York and Scott Roush, but Scott Roush did not qualify for this race. Armory Digital winners in the race: Allison Liera, Andrew Rich, who's won there twice, and Fitzwater, who got the W last year. Remember, that was quite the win for Fitzwater, too.
Yeah, for a guy that hates super speedways racing, he pulled it off, and he wasn't having the greatest this season. That was impressive. But right now, the 06, we talked about this at the restart, Zach. Sanford's holding his own. That's critical.
Just to touch on Armory Digital, that track did not make the schedule cut this year just due to balancing things. It's Daytona, Dega, and Pensacola, the 3 super speedways on the year. And just to finally cover the Talladega winners in the field: Zach Flickinger, Cole Deaver, Rob Evans twice, Jesse Turner, and Nate Rogers. And in the Jerky Pro Truck Series, nobody in this field has won in the Truck Series at Talladega. Bit of a unique case, Vince. I know we're not at Talladega, but I just have to bring this up since I'm looking at it. Chandler Caudle, Adam Garcia, Yael Carrillo, Michael Markle, Will Parrish, and Donovan Cage have been the Talladega winners in the Jerky Pro Truck Series.
Not one soul into this field. That's crazy.
Yeah, maybe Donovan Cage will try next year, but he decided to stay full-time in the trucks for 2023. So you see Henry Sanford, the second he got out to the lead, Vince, he kind of got stuck again. It looks like that car is good behind somebody, but not so good leading the pack. We're going to take a quick little break here. We're expecting green flag pit stops to commence in a couple of laps. So stay tuned. We'll be back with more racing here at Daytona. We are back at Daytona, and they are 4 wide for the race lead. Samantha Oskin, Seth Cole, Jesse Turner, Ace Rogers in the mix. To the helicopter camera we go. They are still 4 wide now for second as Oskin takes a nose to the lead. Is Turner going to be able to clear? Yes, he is. And pit stops are commencing. Ricky Freeman Jr. and Henry Sanford will head down pit road. Logan York checks up from that movement. Cole Deaver's got right side damage from something. Not sure where that came from. That might be more damage from after the caution flag sequence. He's going to head down pit road. Going to wait for a decent chunk of people to pit, Vince, here, and then we're going to watch them, see what these teams are thinking here after putting 20-something laps on their tires.
Do you think the call will be 4 tires and fuel? Try to stretch that window for the next run. Let's see anyone coming in. Just one Catano by himself.
Lucas Catano will pit on his own there from the rear of the pack. Not a bad call, considering he was at the back of the pack, Vince. You know, especially at a track like Daytona, if you are 5th car in line or further back, you tend to lose a little bit of time on the pit entry.
Yeah, you want to have some friends like 2 or 3 or maybe 4 tops, but nothing wrong with pulling a little. I got the draft coming in. Use a little closing rate distance and come down that pit road smooth and clean and get the fastest entry out. As we see 3 wide for the lead.
3 wide for the lead. This time, Oskin, Zach Flickinger, and
Ooh.
Keith Riches. They're going to catch Henry Sanford. The back bumper is gone, but he came out relatively close behind Ricky Freeman Jr., and here comes everyone. Ooh, Allison Liera is a little far back there. Oh, gets into the back of Kate Anderson a little bit.
Zorlin just missed. Oh, more damage.
Contact between Evans and Shelton. See, Vince Freeze, I'm seeing fuel only here. Fitzwater's going to take right sides here, I think. Ace Rogers did fuel only as well. Very interesting. Seeing, I believe it's a lot of fuel only right now, with a couple of right side takers. Let's see what this group does. We got Oskin, Kev Shearer, Enzo Nereza, and Seth Cole. Last 4 down pit road. Oh, Yepes is actually going to stay out another lap. Ryan Brommer's hot into the pit lane. Going to gain some good time out of that. See what the 22 decides to do here. Kev will be right behind him in picture. Along with Seth Cole, Ryan Brommer. Let's see, fuel only up and down the grid, Vince, for the most part. Very curious. Wondering if they think with the slower speeds. Oh, Dylan Young's taking rights. But was going to say, I'm wondering if they're thinking with the lower speeds compared to the dual races, they're just not seeing that much tire wear on the left sides, and so they're either taking nothing or they're taking right sides only.
It's fascinating. Definitely you think you can't go this full race without taking tires, but I've seen strange things.
Diego Yepes makes it down the pit road, and his strategy works out well considering where his pit stall is on the pit lane, Vince. You know, if you run out of fuel, you're only 4 stalls in, so it's not going to work out too badly for you here. And Yepes takes right side tires, and out and away he goes. Seeing Oskin and Kev Shearer as the top 2 right now. Enzo Nereza in 3rd. Jessica Shelton looking to maybe get a run here, take that position. 5th place, Jesse Turner. Then you got Lucas Catano, Ace Rogers, Keith Rich, Zach Flickinger, Vince Freeze, and Christian Vargas, who is now, I believe, 1 lap down.
Yes.
As is Cole Deaver. Where is the 18? Wow, Yepes did not come out too bad after staying out by his own there. He is not going to be in the lead group. But it looks like there's going to be a healthy number of cars in this second pack. You got Seth Cole, Ryan Brommer, Ricky Freeman Jr., RJ Bishop. Yeah, I was getting a little worried there too. Lane Sanders, Allison Liera, not too far off here, despite the crumple in the front end. She's going to need some draft from the front and behind here, though. Otherwise, I think she might lose touch. Rob Evans, Trey Smith, Henry Sanford, Charles Sanford, Stephen Waters, Nate Rogers. Wow, that's kind of funny. Waters and Rogers almost sounds the same back to back. Fitzwater, Kate Anderson, and Corey Riggs. That is down to 27th. They are somewhat gapped, but all relatively lined up.
It's like top 10 are in the pack. I think that's.
Yes, you are correct there. Top 10. Alrighty, well. We'll see if this second pack can get sorted up. Maybe make a crack at charging the front 10. As they are all lined up here. Anyone out in the distance? Cole Deaver. Deaver actually is still on the lead lap, so he has not gone a lap down yet. If we were to get a caution, though, it's looking like potentially Deaver would get that Lucky Dog Award. All right. right, well, we are going to take another break, and we'll be back with more racing in this year's Daytona 500. We're back here at Daytona. Going to be 33 laps complete, this time by 37 laps to go. Had a Clint Boyer moment there where I couldn't count. Enzo and Areza are going to take the race lead here away from Kev Shear. They are mostly double file. Still 10 cars in, actually no, 11 cars in this pack, counting the lap down machine of Cole Deaver. And before we get to the next pit window, Vince, let's just touch on some of these drivers in this pack. Here you've got Kev Shear, who's won it at Superspeedway before, Pensacola, and with 4 wins to his Cup career. Looking for what would be win number 5. Enzo Nareza, who's won here in the Jerky Pro Truck Series. He won here last year. He's looking for what could be his first career win and his first Cup start. Samet Oskin's looking for his first Daytona 500 and what would be career win number 6. As you mentioned, Vince, Jesse Turner, who's looking for the lead. We haven't seen him win a race since 2020 when he won 2 races in his rookie season. You got Lucas Catano in his rookie year as well, who's won a race or 2 in Jerky Pro. Keith Rich, looking for what would be his second win of his career after winning at Pensacola last year. He would love to get a Daytona 500. Vince Freeze in the 12. Would be a first career win for him. He's actually going to make it 4 wide here at the front of the field. 4 wide in a 10-car pack. Oh, boy. Oh, they're not even. Ooh, little touchy. Little touchy between Turner and Catano. This is still not safe. Ooh!
Oh, risky.
They were up the track there, half a lane in the tri-oval. That usually spells disaster.
We'll get through.
They're going to clear Kev Shear here. Woo! That had a heart in the throat moment right there. Let's see, going through the last few drivers here in this pack, you've got Jessica Shelton, who's won this race before. That's her only career win in the Digital Storm Cup Series. And then Zach Flickinger, who's got 3 wins to his name. Oh, and I forgot to mention Ace Rogers. Ace Rogers, who hasn't won since Richmond back in 2020. So that is the top 10. That second pack is pretty stable at about 4.7 seconds. Yep, see, not really, didn't lose anything, but didn't gain anything. There's a ton of cars in this pack, Vince. You got Diego Yepes, Corey Riggs, Ryan Brommer, Nate Rogers, Fitzwater, Kate Anderson, Zorlin, Charles Sanford, Stephen Waters, Lane Sanders, Rob Evans, Ricky Freeman Jr., Trace Smith, Seth Cole, RJ Bishop, and Henry Sanford. 16 cars to the lead pack's 10. In group number 3, not much here. Dylan Young, Skylar Taylor, Logan York, Archibald Buttersworth, and Allison Liera, whose front end has really started to cripple her race. Christian Vargas by himself a lap down, and then you got 4 cars about to be caught by the leaders here, Vince. William Brock, Andrew Rich, Darian Ton, and Saden Davidson.
Yeah, this would be worst case scenario too if they all stack up like this for sure. Back to you.
As we have forgotten to mention here, Vince, about 21 laps ago, Alex Ferrati, Alexander Rowe, and Zachary DeLello were parked for not maintaining minimum speed. We are 21 laps late on that, but at least we told you. Bring the overlay back up here. Those 4 cars are about 1.5 seconds slower than the leaders. So how they are formed up, Vince, is going to be really key in how much they hold up the lead pack here.
Looks like Davidson's low. And they're going to stay single file at the outside. What does Freeze and Catano do? Let's see.
Looks like they are going to split. Saden, no. Catano got pushed up by Deaver at the last second. Closing in on the next pit window, too, here. We're going to be at lap 40 of 70 Freeze with some good moves here, looking to get through the lap cars as quickly as he can. He's going to check up a bit here behind Ton, but then jump to his inside. Turner's going to go from the top to the bottom.
Freeze and Turner might be the first two out of that jailbreak situation. Cad's going to go to the middle with Ton.
And all these cars are just that little bit off pace, Vince, so they're holding these guys up, but they're not holding them up a ton. Freeze will be left by Turner.
Ooh.
As pit stops are going to commence right now. Turner in with Deaver, Shelton, and Ace Rogers right behind them, and man, did that check up most of these cars right here.
Yeah, they might have lost them. Look at that second pack. They're there.
Second pack closing big time on those that got stacked up. This is a big opportunity for Yepes and Co. See, half of their pack has pit as well.
Davidson's playing some games, though. Yepes is going to go low. Great move.
Yepes with a huge run here. 206 into turn 3. Satan's going to stay mostly out of the way. Oh, Nate drifted up a bit on entry. Has to check up.
See who's pitting? Yep.
Vince Freeze going to come in. Andrew Rich as well. Kev Shearer and others. A lot of drivers in. Let's see what these guys do this time.
Some tires, perhaps?
No, no tires. Vince Freeze, fuel only. See what Sameta Oskin decides on. He's doing fuel only once again. Nobody is taking tires. Wow. Oh, Ricky Freeman Jr. will. So I guess compared to last year, Vince, there's no tire wear for some reason. Can't really explain it. Can't really explain it, Vince. They didn't bring a different tire this year. The temperature's about the same. But they are not seeing a need to take tires this season. Now, Yepes, he stayed out the first time, and he has stayed out longer here once again. Maybe looking for a caution. Trap most of the field a lap down. However, we do wave arounds, so they would get back to the lead lap depending on if they decide to pit or not. Ooh, that could have been... That's tight right there. You got 3 cars nose to tail out of pit road. Yepes will pit. Nope, he's not pitting.
Fake.
Thought he was pitting. See if anyone else has stayed out here. Charles Sanford had. Rob Evans. So now here the game plan is, Vince, with the field so spread out. Oh, Evans is going to take lefts. Okay. With the field so spread out, Dylan Young stayed out as well. You want to take as little fuel as possible to try to gain some time.
Yeah, that's the right move. That's just a classic overcut, excuse me. And Taylor's...
I think Skylar Taylor has had an issue. He is back in his pit stall. I thought we saw him leave pit road. And we're hearing he had a flat tire. Let's take a look at the replay here. This is back on lap 41. Taylor came out of pit road, and then the next lap by drops to the apron in turns 1 and 2 with a flat tire. He's going to slow to a stop here. Since he was on the apron, no yellow flag flew. He comes to a stop. No one in sight. Oh, Cole Deaver, though. Oh, no. Jessica Shelton got held up big time here. Ace Rogers, Seth Cole, Kate Anderson all check up, but Jesse Turner drove right by him. But look at the time. Shelton and Ace, they were in that main pack. Look at how much time they lost from having to stop for the 84. Wow. Back to live action here on lap 47. Pit stops have finished off. Charles Sanford in a really good spot after staying out a couple extra laps. And there's a lot more cars lapped down. Yepes, though, top 5 breakaway right now with Kev Shear, Sack Flickinger, Keith Rich, and Enzo Naresa. Oh, this is a similar spot for the 96, Vince.
Yeah, it's almost the exact carbon copy for sure.
Oh, and we're hearing Charles Sanford has an issue. They're reporting the engine has died on the 03. Oh, that is heartbreaking. Not only is it heartbreaking for him, though, Vince, it checked up that second pack. He was leading them. Day over for the 03. But as it checked them up, it has made this pack a little bigger and stronger. How about Jonathan Zorlin up here leading this group?
Very surprised to see where Oskin went. Freeze, those guys are nowhere to be found.
Corey Riggs and Lane Sanders, the only ones that weren't really held up from that. Yeah, you mentioned the 12. I don't see him anywhere.
That's weird. There's Oskin.
There's Shelton. We know got held up. She was in the top 10. Ricky Freeman Jr. as well. Ryan Brommer, Cole Deaver. There's Ace Rogers, Logan York, Dylan Young. Seth Cole, Kate Anderson. Where is the 12? Oh, the 12 has retired.
Whoa. That's a big development. He was the leader coming in the stops.
Being told that a part of the tire that the wheel connects to, so where the wheel is bolted in, Vince, hearing that broke somehow, and their day is over.
Could be an axle, yeah, or a tire rod. Yeah, no, that's
axle,
typical.
tire rod.
So weird too. When in a race where you're not taking tires, just fuel it. Race. This is one of the most interesting strategy races I think we've ever seen at Daytona, where tires are meaningless, but yet can play a factor if we see someone do it.
So we've had 2 drivers blow an engine, and then we've had a flat tire, and then a axle rod issue here for the 12. That leaves us with now 36 cars on the track. Skylar Taylor has returned to the surface. He is 4 laps down. We have 28 cars in total on the lead lap. 27 that appear to be up to speed, Vince. Everyone else with some form of damage. I'll tell you what, Vince. That second pack, they're making some time. This lead group only has 3 cars at most on the top or the bottom at a given time, and that is not allowing a whole lot of momentum to develop.
It's just interesting. The lines are different.
Never
We're
mind.
not seeing tops. Oh, my bad.
Never mind. Sorry for cutting you off there, Vince. The second group, they just lost 3/10. Continue.
No, I was just saying, it's just interesting how it's almost like being being 2-3 wide in this 5-car group isn't hurting them because they're just dicing it up way too much back there.
They are 3 wide here. See Lucas Catano trying to hold on to the pack. It looks like Steven Waters was actually up the pace. Thinking earlier back about 50 laps ago when we had that restart, we weren't sure if he was up to speed or not, but he looks to be okay. This time by, though, the second pack gains a 10th on the leaders. They're going to catch Liera here soon. That could really help the second group.
We've got the right guy leading that pack. That 9 is the best car, I think, in a situation where you need to bring someone to the front. You got a whole host of ponies back there to get back up there. But we'll see how Liera handles, and then the old pit strategy will be coming into play soon. Who pits the latest, I think, will be a key one.
Yes, indeed. I think the later you pit, Vince, if this stays green, you're going to be in a great spot. Yepes especially should be able to take the least amount of fuel out of anybody with the strategy he's run. He is in a perfect position here. He's just got to have the right amount of draft help, and he's got to be able to hold them off or make that move on the last lap if he is to win this year's Daytona 500.
Two-car tandem right there, but Kev's going to ditch him. And I think that second pack is starting to sniff it, but they're starting to sniff Allison. Let's see how this goes.
They're going to catch Liera here. Fun fact, looking at this top 5, the only driver that has not won in the Digital Storm Cup Series is the brand new rookie to the series, Enzo Nareza. Nareza with 2 years of Jerky Pro experience coming into this year. And Yepes is going to be the one held up the most here by the 10. Shearer, Keith Rich, Nareza, and Zach Flickinger all go on by. And you can see that second pack back there in the picture. Sorry for the weird camera cut, everybody.
Oskin, Fitzy, Catano. Catano's joined this group. That's big.
Henry Sanford still up here as well on the lead lap. No back bumper too, Vince.
Yeah, no, still trucking along, but that's a big gain by that second pack, about 3/10. They're only 2.5 away from that 5th place car. That's all you need, and they're going to start to sniff Allison once again.
Liera trying to hold on to the draft, but it's just not going to happen. We'll take one more quick break, and we'll be back for the conclusion of this year's race. The second pack has closed the gap down to 2.5 seconds, but I'm being told that teams are going to start coming in this time by, and you see Henry Sanford has already gone down the pit lane. Oh, this could be a little dicey, though. They are 3 wide behind them. He's looking to merge. He's going to wait and pull up on track. Who will come in this time by? And I think, Vince, the time to take tires was earlier. You're not taking tires here. It's got to be fuel only. Keith Rich and Kev Shear will be the first 2 down. Oh, Liera dropped down in front of Jonathan Zorlin. And Nate Rogers pitting. But the pack checked up tremendously. That settled them out big time.
Yeah, Flickinger and Pez look like they're in the driver's seat right here with Nareza. Even though he lost a little bit, he'll start the game as they go dragging back with the side-by-side.
Flickinger and Yepes side by side for the race lead. Does Flickinger want to pit here, though? You know Yepes probably doesn't. He stayed out the longest out of anybody.
Someone, I think, will pull the trigger, but... yeah, yep.
Yep, Flickinger and Enzo are going to pit together here, hoping to maybe break Yepes' chance at a draft. Catano, Rob Evans stay out. Waters, Trey Smith. Everybody else down in behind them. Dylan Young, Ricky Freeman Jr. stay on the track. Kev Shear first one out of his group. There's Yepes. Skylar Taylor, I'm not sure if he can make it. He's 4 laps down. Not that it matters. He'll finish 4 laps down most likely, but... what will Yepes do here? Coming to 10 laps to go. He is not looking to commit at all. He's going to pass Shearer and Keith Rich. Catano, Trey Smith, Steven Waters, they're going to come down. Ricky Freeman Jr. will pit. Dylan Young stays out. Zach Flickinger, Nareza, Lane Sanders. Look at the time they gained over Rich and Kev just by pitting a lap later.
You're in the capper seat, you Pez, basically. You got a couple extra laps in the field and probably wouldn't mind a caution right now. Caution, boy, oh boy. The amount of people would be trapped would be crazy.
Yepes will choose to stay out once more.
Evans is in.
Rob Evans will pit from second.
Dylan Young, I think, is coming in.
Dylan Young will come in as well. That leaves Yepes out. Lone car left on the track as Lucas Catano made his service. last time by. Zach Flickinger, the leader. Yepes leads the pack. He's got practically everybody a lap down right now. Oh, but he's got the hand out the window. He's looking to pit. Kev Shear is looking underneath Keith Rich. He's going to spit him. Did the caution come out? It did. Caution's out on the track.
Boy.
Right as Yepes comes to pit road. That was a questionable call by Kev Shear, but I can't blame him for going for it there here at the end of the race. Went to Keith's inside right as Yepes was pitting and just barely hooks the 53 around. We're waiting to see when the pace car will go here. There goes the pace car. See how many people are let to go by. Yepes should be coming out here to file in line. His stall is behind the start-finish line after all. No, they're telling him to go by. Wow.
Oh, okay.
They are telling Yepes to go by. What about Rob Evans? He just raced back himself. They're telling Rob Evans to go by.
Yeah, he's full throttle.
Everyone else is looking to slow down, and I'm being told that officials are already getting ready to wave these drivers around here because they want everybody to be behind the leaders here. They don't want third place restarting the race. You can see Flickinger has already been told to go. Lucky Dog here will be... it might be the 10. Actually, I'm not sure who it is.
I think the 10 might be.
Oh, they're saying it's Lucas Catano, I think. Yeah, they're saying it's Lucas Catano, which seems weird to me. But that is who they're giving Lucky Dog to, is the 39. Not sure about that one. But everyone else is being told to go by the pace car regardless. We saw the caution happen right away, so we'll let you guys not have to watch through this, and we'll be back for the race restart. Well, everybody, it's going to be one of them finishes. The 2023 NRSL Digital Storm Cup Series Daytona 500 will have a 3-lap shootout to decide the winner of this year's race. Let's run you through who your contenders are here. Lap down cars have been told to go to the back of the field. The officials do not want them implicating the race here this season. Yepes will restart from the race lead. He pit last. He is a sitting duck because of this caution. He definitely did not want to see it. Rob Evans in second. Zach Flickinger third. Dylan Young fourth. Enzo Nareza fifth. Lane Sanders sixth. Jonathan Zorlin seventh. Man, will Zorlin be the one to get his second Daytona 500 victory? Kev Shear is eighth with some hood damage. We'll see how that affects him in the draft. Nate Rogers ninth. Jesse Turner 10th. RJ Bishop in 11th. Corey Riggs 12th. Trey Smith 13th. Stephen Waters 14th. Keith Rich 15th. Fitzwater, Henry Sanford, Ricky Freeman Jr., Logan York, Samet Oskin, the top 20. Ace Rogers, Jessica Shelton, Ryan Brommer, Archibald Buttersworth, Seth Cole, Cade Anderson, and Lucas Catano are all on the lead lap. But Vince, I think top 15 is where you got to be if you want a shot at this with just 3 laps to go.
Show me the money time, baby. This is it. All chips are all on the line. What can Diego Yepes do? What does Evans do? I think how you dictate this start and the restart zone will be the first order of business. We're about to find out. Pace car's off. Diego Yepes into our restart zone. 3-lap dash. It's Daytona, baby. Let's get it.
Rob Evans, Lane Sanders, Nate Rogers all jumping high on the drop of the green flag. Also a reminder, if we get a caution here at any time during the last 3 laps, it will end the race as well. But if a caution comes out on the white, who cares? They're racing back to the checkers anyway.
Dylan Dylan Young with an aggressive start. Here comes Lane Sanders. Huge run coming from the 8.
Rob Evans went top but got no help. He's going to drop back. Yepes with help here, but Zach Flickinger is going to ditch and go low for the lead. Lane Sanders has a head of steam coming on the bottom.
There's Nereza. There's Zorlin. We talked about Zorlin. That's all he does is win, win, win no matter what. We'll see if he can get in the 500s. Here comes Turner. Now they're starting to Constantine up.
Sorlin, man, won his second Cup Series championship last year after a stout season. Then went into the V8 Supercar Challenge over the winter and dominated that too. Could he continue with another win here to start this season?
Sanders gets pushed up high. Turner, Zorlin, and Nereza. What about a rookie? What he can do? How about Corey Riggs? We haven't seen him back there.
Corey Riggs on the bottom of the track. It looks like Vince. I don't know if it's just because they keep passing and the middle can't get formed up, but it seems like you want to be on the bottom.
I think RJ Bishop could be in a good spot right here. Coming to the white flag.
It's all going to depend where the moves come. Sorlin leads Turner, Smith, Bishop, and now Corey Riggs drops low in front of Fitzwater. White flag is out. Sorlin can't throw the block in time. Turner to his inside. And Turner's going to pull up to the middle. That's going to open the door for Trey Smith. Trey Smith, who should have started on the pole but wrecked in his dual race. Can he win the Daytona 500?
What does RJ Bishop do? Smith goes to block Zorlin. Can Bishop get the head of steam on the bottom? He's got help from Riggs and Fitzy and Nate. That's big.
Smith is ahead of Bishop. Does he throw the block? No, he's going to let him race it out. RJ Bishop on the inside line to the point. He'll slide up though. Corey Riggs, can he get a run? Side by side into the tri-oval. It'll be RJ Bishop winning the Daytona 500 for his first career win in the NRSL Digital Storm Cup Series.
How about RJ Bishop? Man, played it cool. We watched him with 2 to go. He was the 4th car in the inside line. That's about what you needed. One more lap, he probably would have been toast. Just timed it perfectly. Right spot, right time.
And RJ Bishop, Vince, 4 years in the Jerky Pro Truck Series. Never got a win. He came very close at Talladega one year. I believe it was 2021 was his first full-time Cup season, so he's been committed to the Cup Series since. Actually, it might have been 2020. I think it was 2021. But for RJ to get his first career win here in the Daytona 500 is some storybook stuff. Margin of victory, I'm hearing, was 32 1/1000ths of a second, which completes the weekend. Every race, including the duels, margin of victory under 1/10 of a second. That's just typical Daytona for you. Corey Riggs comes home second in his first career Cup Series start. If Riggs does not qualify for the next 3 races, these points are going to be very beneficial for him. Potentially being able to stay top 30. It all depends how everyone else does here in the next 3 races. But second gets you a good amount of points behind the winner. Trey Smith in 3rd. Fitzwater 4th. Sorlin 5th. Nate Rogers 6th. Turner 7th. Enzo Nereza 8th. Lane Sanders 9th. And Zach Flickinger 10th. So I'd say as far as our championship contenders go, Vince, surviving Daytona is key with the 20-race season. Fitzwater, Zorlin, and Nate Rogers with a good start. We'll go over some notables here. Diego Yepes there from the lead on the restart to 12th. Dylan Young, 14th. Jessica Shelton, 15th. Kev Shearer in 19th. Smet Oskin, 22nd. Lucas Catano, 24th. Seth Cole, 26th. Cole Deaver, 28th. Allison Liera, 29th. Andrew Rich, 32nd. Not the Daytona 500 he wanted. And, of course, Charles Sanford, Alex Ferranti, Alexander Rowe, and Nico Tringali and Audra Baranauskas with bad days. Vince, your thoughts on this one?
really interesting race. We had a early wreck, then we had a little lull period, then we had guys taking just no tires and only maybe lefts or rights. Then we had a Yepes strategy where he really did that crazy overcut. Then had the caution come out last lap, just last lap shootout kind of deal. RJ Bishop timed it perfectly and took it home. But overall, I think the strongest car today that we'll never know, I think, was the 9 and the 39 time. We'll never know. They had great cars in the duel, but maybe we were just set up for the nighttime where daytime was different. And also, I guess just a note, I don't know when my next broadcast will be, so I definitely enjoyed this moment for sure.
Yes, indeed, Vince. Thank you for coming out for the week of Daytona. We'll see when we're able to get you in here next. But Jerky Pro Truck Series and Digital Storm Cup Series head to Auto Club next. Originally, this season was going to go every week. Plans have changed due to my busy real life schedule. Um, uh, yeah, I can't really put a date on when Auto Club will go up, but know that it'll happen at some point in the near future. So with that said and done, here come your full race results along with the point standings after the first race to show you how the points work. They work the same as they do in trucks, but I'm going to show you anyway. RJ Bishop won this race, the 201st race in Cup Series history. See y'all at Auto Club whenever that may be.
Signing off.